Hey everyone! Welcome back to Cap Tech, where we explore the fascinating intersections of technology, history, and travel. I'm your new host, Janie Rutenkruch. I'm so happy that Cap Tech chose me for this job. I am Cap Tech's #1 fan. I think of him like a big vanilla desert. I mean, seriously guys, check out the links below to buy some of Josh Kappelman's books or his new musical album. The man is simply amazing, and in this gal's opinion, he's one of the most underrated creators and artists of his generation. Today, we're venturing into the dark and dangerous world of organized crime in Southern Illinois, a time when gangsters ruled the streets, and the law was often just a suggestion. And at the center of this underworld was a man who became a legend in his own right, Charlie Berger. Southern Illinois in the early 20th century was a hotbed of criminal activity. With Prohibition in full swing, the region became a battleground for rival gangs, illegal liquor operations, and violent feuds. Among the most notorious figures to emerge from this era was Charlie Berger, a man whose name would become synonymous with crime in Southern Illinois. Charlie Berger, born Shachna Itzik Berger in 1881 to Jewish immigrant parents, grew up in a time of great change. After serving in the U.S. Army during the Spanish-American War, Berger found himself drawn to the opportunities presented by the booming coal industry in Southern Illinois. But it wasn't the coal mines that would make Berger infamous. Instead, it was his involvement in the seedy underworld of bootlegging, gambling, and racketeering. By the 1920s, Berger had risen to power, becoming one of the most feared and respected figures in the region. Berger's headquarters was the Shady Rest, a roadhouse located near Harrisburg, Illinois. This place was more than just a speakeasy. It was a fortress equipped with machine guns, searchlights, and even an underground tunnel system. From here, Berger orchestrated his criminal empire, dealing in illegal liquor, running gambling dens, and enforcing his will with a mix of charm and brutality. However, Berger's rise to power wasn't without challenges. His biggest rivals were the Shelton brothers, a gang that controlled much of the organized crime in Southern Illinois. The feud between the Berger and Shelton gangs became one of the bloodiest chapters in Illinois history. The rivalry between Berger and the Sheltons was intense and deadly. Both sides employed brutal tactics. Car bombings, assassinations, and shootouts became almost daily occurrences. Towns like Herrin and Benton became war zones, and ordinary citizens often found themselves caught in the crossfire. Despite the chaos, Berger's cunning and ruthlessness allowed him to gain the upper hand. He used the media to his advantage, portraying himself as a Robin Hood figure, someone who stood up against the Sheltons' tyranny and helped the common man. But behind this public image was a man capable of extreme violence and manipulation. Charlie Berger's reign of terror couldn't last forever. In 1926, the Shady Rest was bombed and burned to the ground, a sign that Berger's control over Southern Illinois was slipping. The tide was turning, and the law was finally closing in on him. By 1927, Berger's criminal empire was in shambles. Betrayed by former allies and pursued by law enforcement, Berger was finally captured and put on trial for the murder of West City Mayor Joe Adams, a crime he ordered as part of his campaign to eliminate rivals. Despite his efforts to sway public opinion, Berger was convicted and sentenced to death. On April 19, 1928, Charlie Berger was hanged at the Benton, Illinois jail, the last public execution in the state's history. Even in his final moments, Berger maintained his bravado, reportedly telling the executioner, "It's a beautiful world." But with his death, an era of lawlessness in Southern Illinois came to an end. Charlie Berger's story is a complex one, a tale of crime, power, and ultimately downfall. He was a man who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most notorious gangsters in American history. But his legacy is a reminder of the dark side of the American dream, where ambition can lead to destruction. Today, the history of Charlie Berger and the organized crime that once gripped Southern Illinois is remembered as a unique chapter in the state's past. A time when the law of the land was decided not by courts, but by the men who could control it with force. It's a story that still echoes through the hills and valleys of this region. What do you think? Was Charlie Berger a misunderstood man trying to survive in a tough world, or was he a ruthless criminal who got what he deserved? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next adventure. And let me know in the comments, what hidden histories are lurking in your local area? I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, this is Cap Tech signing off.
In the heart of little Egypt, where the cornfields stand tall, lived a man named Charlie Berger, feared by them all. He ruled southern Illinois with an iron hand. With his bootleg liquor, he controlled the land. Oh, Charlie Berger, king of the night, with a Tommy gun in hand. He put up a fight from Shady Rest to Harrisburg. His name rang clear. Charlie Berger, the outlaw, spreading fear. The Shelton brothers tried to take his crown, but Charlie stood firm, wouldn't back down. He built his fortress strong as can be, but in the end it was the gallows that set him free. Oh, Charlie Berger, king of the night, with a Tommy gun in hand. He put up a fight from Shady Rest to Harrisburg. His name rang clear. Charlie Berger, the outlaw, spreading fear. The Shelton brothers tried to take his crown. Oh, Charlie Berger, king of the night, with a Tommy gun in hand. He put up a fight from Shady Rest to Harrisburg. His name rang clear. Charlie Berger, the outlaw, spreading fear. In southern Illinois, the tale still lingers.